The initial idea of Soul Trade was actually formed in a share house back in 2009. My housemate and I would drink endless cups of tea and listen to Erwin McManus sermons and come up with creative ideas. And I found this hard drive labelled Soul Trade way back from this time. So this is proof that it's okay to sit on an idea for a good decade or so. Since then, I finished my photography degree, studied theology, lived in a new monastic community in London for a year, and then spent 5 years writing for a bunch of Christian publications. So why 2020? There was something about a new decade that made me think more deeply about what I was doing. I wasn't sure the publications I was writing for were reaching my peers. Sadly, so many of my friends were falling away from the faith, and they were mainly engaged with divisive online content. So I signed up for a free government business course, and our class very quickly went from sharing bronuts and brainstorming business names to hearing the possible implications of COVID-19. We all thought our teacher was being a tad dramatic and maybe watched Contagion a few too many times, but turned out he was right, and soon we would need to figure out how to pivot. Before I talk about the Kickstarter campaign, I thought I'd give you a bit of a scale of how many people were involved in this project in the last 18 months. We had 31 writers, 16 photographers, 10 editorial committee members, 9 illustrators, 5 board members, 4 videographers, 4 editors, 2 web developers, 2 marketing coordinators, and 1 branding and publication designer. So it's not enough to have an idea. I have journals full of ideas, but this one only happened because we've had 83 people involved. There were key people we got on board early on, including our publication designer, Matt Brown from Taco Design Studio, and our partners, the Wandering Bookseller, who have been instrumental to our success. The plan was always to have a Kickstarter campaign because we wanted to test out the market. Do people really want this magazine? And we wanted to be able to pay the people involved. The campaign ran for 30 days with an all-or-nothing goal of $30,000. This required a huge amount of trust in God. If we didn't reach our goal, we ended up with $0 and the dream was over. There was a particularly scary moment in the campaign when support slowed and we ended up calling an emergency prayer session, and the next day we saw a big spike and we ended up smashing our goal and reaching over $39,000 with 550 backers. The fact that it was in 2020 contributed to the success of Soul Trade. It was a year people were forced to be working on screens all day. The desire for a screen break made the idea of a beautiful print-only magazine more attractive. Our lockdown in Melbourne meant working with Queensland to make the Kickstarter video and to make the launch party an online event that everyone in Australia could watch. It was also the year of the US presidential election, where people were bombarded with American-centric news and divisive online content. So the idea of a magazine that explored lived faith from the breadth of the Australian church and gave voice to people in the middle spaces was a compelling one. It's now been 11 months since our successful Kickstarter campaign, and we have printed editions 1, 2 and 3, with edition 4 launching tomorrow, September 1st. And this is all because of the creative community of Australia who have embraced an Aussie faith magazine that is print only.